Rosae. Hello everybody, welcome to my ASMR channel. My name is Somni Rosae. Wherever you are, I hope that you are doing well. So for today's video, I have a jar filled with questions. Not just any questions, they are questions from you. That's right. I want to thank each and every one of you who filled out the questions on Instagram as well as on YouTube. Not filled out the questions, but you participated in my posts. I had shared some requests and you guys answered, so I really appreciate the feedback, and all the questions are lovely, and some of them I did not read all of them because I want to be surprised. So they are written down in these different colored post-it notes. And as I open them, I want to be surprised and as well as leave some room for spontaneity. That's right, spontaneity. We know that when it comes to ASMR, the best tingles, the best relaxation sometimes is where you least expected. So I hope that you find this video just as relaxing as it was to put it all together. For you see, when I had the jar and I was placing this very beautiful satin ribbon around it, I found the whole process soothing and relaxing as I was writing down the questions on post-it notes. The sound of the pen touching the paper was also very relaxing. And going through your questions, reading the comments, and just feeling that kind and beautiful energy from you was also very soothing and relaxing. Applying my makeup for the video was another treat. Yes, that is correct. Another treat. Because it's also a moment for yourself to pamper yourself and just feeling the brush, the makeup brush, lightly touching your face or maybe your fingertips as you're dabbing the makeup on can also be a very soothing and relaxing experience. Anything to do with self-care can have that effect on a person. Brushing my hair as the hairbrush touches my scalp, it is like a massage, and it just helps with the scalp and helps with that blood flow. It's like a mini massage for your scalp. And again, that is another opportunity for relaxation to help create that soothing environment. So as you can see, prior to sitting down and talking here with you, that process of ASMR, that process of creating an environment of tranquility had already begun. And well, here we are. So before I forget, I would like to invite you to follow me on Instagram or TikTok, or to check the community tab on YouTube, because that is usually where I post behind the scenes, anything that is going on relating to the channel, or perhaps something to do with my personal life that I find interesting, or that I think you would find interesting as well. But again, no pressure to follow me on other platforms. I understand that many of you love YouTube and you prefer to follow me here, and that's perfectly fine. And that's why I am happy that YouTube has a community tab. But as a just in case, you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok. And on Instagram, it's usually where I post surveys, I ask you questions, and I keep you posted as well on other things such as editing videos and just to say hello. And well, so the questions that I have here, they are both from Instagram and YouTube's community post. So I'm trying to figure out what is the best way to choose these questions. They are all random, and the different colors do not belong to a specific category. Nothing like that. I love stationery. I love stationery. I am obsessed. And one of the things I like to purchase a lot are post-it notes, pens and pencils, highlighters, and more highlighters, and more pens, but in different colors. Perhaps one day I can make a video showing you my collection. It's an unhealthy obsession. And that's the reason why I bought this stack of sticky notes or post-it notes that was multicolored, because I just had to have it. That's it. Another thing I would like to share with you is that it is currently raining in Toronto. That is correct. What you hear outside is organic, natural rain. So everything has aligned to make this wonderful experience just for you. All right then, so let's shuffle a little bit and let's see, maybe if we close our eyes and just see what question will be first. Let's see. Okay, I have one, and it's yellow. All right, let's see what the question is. Just opening it up. Now, again, these are random questions, and I'm also going to share just the first initial of the commenters so that they know it is indeed their question. So unless they added their name within the question, that's the only way I will know that you gave me permission to share your name. Okay, so for now, I'm only using initials until otherwise indicated. Well, question number 1. During your Nahuatl studies, was there a specific piece of history or folk tale that stood out to you? This was shared on the YouTube community post. They requested soft spoken, which I've done, and the initial is V. So just to make sure, during your Nahuatl studies, was there a specific piece of history or folklore that stood out to you? And the answer is yes, absolutely yes, there was. And what's interesting is there are many things, and we could be here forever or make different videos about it. And I want to say thank you so much for that question about my Nahuatl studies. For anyone who is new watching this channel, I am originally from El Salvador, but I am based in Canada. I am Native American, and my indigenous language is Nahuatl, the Salvadorian variant. Now, even though that is my maternal language, it's not my first language because certain things happened in El Salvador that prevented us from speaking our own language. Hence the reason why my first language is Spanish and not Nahuatl. Well, so 3 years ago, I embarked on a personal journey of reconnecting with my roots. And that is, I found an online Nahuatl school called Timumachtigan Nahuatl, which means let's learn Nahuatl. And for the past 3 years, I've been learning the language, and I've also become part of the school. Throughout my education, I learned words that my grandmother was using during my upbringing, but none of us knew what they meant. I would ask her, what does it mean? You're always saying this word, always? What does it mean? And she would respond with, I don't know. It's just a word I grew up hearing. And it was only until I took the class that I found out what she had been saying all along. The word was mutsungal, which means your hair. Now, what's interesting is when she would say this word, it was when she was caressing our hair. That's right. She would caress our hair. The other grandchildren, so all of us, she would caress our hair, or she would caress our face, but mostly it was our hair. And she would say, Mutsungal, Mutsungal. And now that I know that it means your hair, it must mean that her mother or maybe her grandmother was saying those words to her as she caressed her hair. And it's basically a way of her that she was saying to us, I love you, right? Because she's caressing our hair. Your hair, Mutsunga, Mutsunga. And I must admit, it was an emotionally shattering experience because that word, hearing it in class, brought me back to my grandmother, and it helped me to connect with her in a different way. And it was also very emotional because the language had been with us all this time. We just didn't know it. So we rescued it, and it's beautiful to see how her words, or at least that one word, is an inheritance that she left me. Mutsunga, Mutsunga, your hair, your hair. And well, folklore and everything else, absolutely. There's more to say. I wonder if you would like me to make a video strictly about this question, you can let me know and I will make one just on that. And you can share more questions in the comments. But yes, there's so much to say. There's so much. Thank you so much for the question. Now let's go back to the jar. Let's see. It's not shaking as much as I would like it to, but that's because we have so many questions. Okay, let's see. Oh, I got one. What do we have? Now this is a green Post-it note. And the question says, who are the ASM artists that you are listening to / watching these days? This came through Instagram and the initial is S. Thank you so much for the question. Well, there are 2 ASM artists whose work I watch continuously, and I'm always staying up to date, and that would be Emma WHISPERSRED. And I follow her on Instagram, YouTube, I think X, I think all the other social media platforms, if I remember correctly. I'm mostly active on YouTube and Instagram, so that's where I see the notifications. She is so amazing, lovely, talented, and I just love her voice. And it's a surreal experience for me to this day that we collaborated together on a video, to have met her and to have been at YouTube Space in London in the United Kingdom. I still ask myself, did that really happen? Did that really happen? It was beautiful. So yes, it's Emma WHISPERSRED. And the next ASM artist is Jelly Bean Green ASMR. And any additional information, anything that I mentioned in this video, you can always find links, resources, if available, of course, in the description box of this video. So yes, Jelly Bean Green ASMR is another one. I believe she is from Texas, from the United States. So I love her content as well. Thank you so much for the question. And now we can sort of see some of the notes are moving. Okay, I'm gonna pick this one. It's blue. All right. Let's open it up. And this is coming from YouTube, the community post. And the initial is the letter T. The question, okay, it says, any movies or books you recommend? What is your favorite food to eat in the summer? So it's two questions. So let's answer part one. Any movies or books you recommend? Okay, so movies, let's see, what movie? I recently have been rewatching M. Night Shyamalan's film Lady in the Water. I adore that film. I loved it the first time that I saw it many years ago. And then a few months ago, I remembered the movie and reconnected to it and have been watching it a lot because the messages in those movies, I believe, resonate with me today even more than before. It's an absolute beautiful work of art. I love it so much that I even did an episode on the Pink Moon podcast. So you're welcome to check it out. I adore it. The majority of the time, I tend to gravitate toward movies that are very spiritual. They have this message of how we are all connected. I used to watch all kinds of genres, action films, mystery, but lately I have been a little more selective on what I watch because sometimes the energy behind the film can negatively contaminate my environment, and I don't want that energy in my home. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a scary movie. It can be perhaps a drama or a comedy film, but something in it has an energy that does not agree with me. And once I pick up on that, I stop watching it, put it away, or walk away from it. And it's because I don't want that energy in my home. When it comes to books, I love books. I love books. I love reading. However, because of lack of time, I now listen to audiobooks because I can multitask. I can listen, do the dishes, go for walks, and just learn and lose myself in the story, or if it's an educational book. So to answer your question, which book or books do I recommend? I adore the author Anne Rice. Forever I've been a fan of her, and I just love her books. The Vampire Chronicles, The Witching Hour. I love her style of writing. So pretty much any books of by Anne Rice. Another book that I would recommend, and it's interesting because this book I read it years ago, but it has surfaced again because of a conversation that I was having with someone I've recently met, and we were talking about introversion and extroversion. Surprisingly, this topic is still not talked about enough in certain communities, so I suggest in case I'm bringing it up again. And that is the book Quiet, the Power of Introverts in a World That Can't Stop Talking. And the author is Susan Cain. This book completely changed my life because I did not know at the time that I myself am an introvert. Didn't know it. As a result, because I was hanging out with a lot of extroverted people, I always felt that there was something wrong with me. There wasn't. There was something wrong with me in the sense that I wasn't taking care of myself and placing healthy boundaries that would protect my introversion. And because I wasn't doing that due to the lack of knowledge at the time, I was not bringing my best to work, to my circle of friends, to my family. Because again, I was in many environments that are very friendly to extroverts, but not to introverts. So that book really improved my life as well as my relationships with the people in my life. So this is not professional advice at all. Not at all. But I am sharing with you in case it can help you as well. All right. Thank you for your question. Let's see. Oh, here's another blue sticky note. Okay. Let's open it out. Open it out. And this comes from T, shared through Instagram. What is your favorite book or poem? Thank you for the question. Now, this question, I did read it in full and in advance as I was writing them down. So I kind of came prepared for that one. So I think that is the only question where I did not leave room for spontaneity because I would like to share the book with you. So this is from El Salvador. The name of the author is Ernesto Paez. He has written many books for children. I grew up with his books. My number all-time favorite book is the one that's called Gramática Ilustrada. It translates to illustrated grammar. So he teaches grammar in Spanish through illustrations. These are all his drawings. He has a very specific style that I really like. Now, this book is how to draw like him. His books are very difficult to find. The sad news is I had that grammar book since I was a child and I lost it recently, a few years ago, on a move. And I am very heartbroken because many of his books are out of print and they're very difficult to find. So I don't know if I will ever find another copy. These books, because there are other ones, my brother found them at a flea market in El Salvador where they sell all kinds of vintage materials. So these are actually secondhand, hence the reason why they are in this condition. So moving forward, I'm going to try my best to keep them in good shape and prevent them from getting worse. So that is my favorite book / author as well. Well, there we go. And let's see, let's go back to the jar. And let's see what color is going to be next. We have blue, light blue, yellow, pink, and green. Well, this one jumped out and it's a light blue. I don't think we've had a light blue. Right, so let's open it up. This one came from Instagram and the initial is the letter L. What is your favorite episode from the Pink Moon podcast? Wow, that one is very difficult. Very difficult. Okay, I love every episode. Every episode. But if I want to narrow it down, it would be Micromega. I think that might have been episode 2. The reason why it has a soft spot for me is because you can hear my cat in that episode. You can hear my cat Prince. And it was not to change the mood, but I'm gonna say it's because the microphone captured his sounds in that video. In that podcast. That's why, Micromega. The other episode would be The Night Fairy, because of the style of the story, the way that I wrote it. I would say the first maybe 10, 14, or at least the first half of the episodes on the podcast, there was a lot of writing involved, a lot of preparation, a lot of script. And at the time, the stories just came to me so easily. And I was writing a lot at the time. So sometimes my favorite episodes, it's not because of the quality. It could be for many reasons. It could be because it's a beautiful memory from a time in my life. It could be that maybe I like how the sound came out in that episode. It could be a myriad of things. So because I am answering this question, it would be those 2 episodes. And because the Night Fairy was inspired by my cat Prince, whom you can hear in episode 2, Mikomega. Thank you so much for the question. Well, we're getting deep. Let's see. Let's go with another yellow one. Again, thank you so much for the question. All right, let's see what this says. So this comes from M, and it was posted on the YouTube community post tab. Okay, what are, oh, I think I might have forgotten to answer part 2 of a question. Let's go back. I just realized this. What is your favorite food to eat in the summer? I have a favorite drink because when it comes to food, it's always chocolate. It's always chocolate. It's always going to be chocolate. Winter, summer, fall, spring, always chocolate. But there is a favorite drink for the summer, and that is any keto-friendly soft drink. There is this brand called Sparkling Ice, 0 sugar, but it tastes so sweet and it's very refreshing during the hot summer days. Very refreshing. So yes, that was the question and that is the answer. Thank you so much. All right, so the next question comes from M, and it was shared on the YouTube community tab. What are some of your favorite words or phrases in Nahuatl? And if it isn't too personal to ask, what are some of your goals or dreams to accomplish lately in any part of life? Thank you. Oh no, thank you for the question. So, part 1, and thank you again for asking a question about the Nahuatl language. So, my favorite words in Nahuatl are Nawi, Nawi. It means the number 4, Nawi. But to me, it sounds like a very pretty name. Nawi. Easy to pronounce. I think easy to remember. Nawi. And next one is Shiwit. Shiwit, which means year. Anything that is like we, wa, with W sounds, I tend to like a lot. So if you want to say goodbye, you say nyawa, nyawa. The person that initiates the farewell, nyawa, and the receiver will say shawa, shawa. So yeah, anything with the W sounds I like, but specifically Nawi, Nawi, se umeye Nawi. And the second part, you know what? I am fascinated that you have asked this question because I am currently working on some projects. I am. And they are related to ASMR. And I don't know how much I can share, but maybe, let's see, I'm thinking. one of them has to do with writing. Yes, one of them has to do with writing. And I hinted about it on one of my Instagram posts. I think potentially I have one more story to tell. One more. And I'm working on it. I don't know when it's going to be ready, but I'll keep you posted. And there is another project that I hope it comes to fruition, but it is related to ASMR. All I can ask to you, my beautiful listeners, that's what I call you at the Pink Moon Podcast. And I think, if you don't mind, I would like to call my viewers beautiful listeners as well. I don't think I'll be able to do any of this without your support. And I don't mean financial. I just mean without you subscribing, without the comments, without the likes, without the shares. I think almost every video, I would say the majority of the videos, if not all, have been inspired by you, by interacting with you, by reading what you like. Together we have created this content, and therefore I believe that these projects that I am working on will have a nice launch pad if we are working together. And I want to say thank you. Thank you, because you have opened doors for me that I never thought would ever open. In the last 13 years, you have taken my work, not me physically, but you have taken my work to places I never could have dreamed of. There is truth to that expression I've heard before, and it goes, your name has entered rooms that you have never been to. It's so true. It's so true. So thank you so much. And so I'm hoping that these two projects that I am working on will come true, and it will happen if it's meant to be. It will happen if we want it to be, because we have to do our own part. So yes, there are two projects in the works. Thank you so much for the question. Now, let's see. Oh, here's another light blue. So let's open this up and let's see what it says. So this one was shared on YouTube and it comes from I. What is it like to live in El Salvador? And where in the world would you love to visit that you haven't already? Well, all right, so this is a two-part question. Let's see, part number one. So I used to live in El Salvador, and now I regularly visit because the country has positively changed. Before, it wasn't the safest place to be in, but since 2019, when El Salvador elected the new president, Bukele, the country has become much safer ever since, and as a result, many of us are able to return. As a woman, it's been quite a miracle to be able to travel my home country by myself. That was something that would have been completely unheard of or to do in the past. And what's it like to live there now? I don't know, because it's a new country, not just for me as a diaspora, it's also new to the locals. So together, it seems that the country has been reset and we're starting to gather at the same level. Both groups, local and diaspora, are going to find out together what the new El Salvador is going to be and what it's like to live there. So yes, only time will tell. But that's only from the point of view of a diaspora. But I do go there a lot. Thank you so much for the question. Let's see. What do we have here? Okay, got this one. It's a yellow sticky note, and this comes from YouTube, and they requested the question to be whispered, and it comes from someone with the letter E. What is your favorite way to relax? My favorite way to relax is to be at home. At home, watching TikTok videos, just scroll, or to listen to ASMR videos. So basically, I lie down, I'll go to bed, just relax there, look up at the ceiling, put on some ASMR videos, any relaxing sounds, and just lose myself in the sounds and just sleep. So I'll have a nap or two, and that is my way to relax. It's through ASMR videos, maybe a podcast, relaxing soft music, or just scrolling through TikTok. And that helps me to decompress and introvert, relax. Thank you so much for the question. See, we got another post-it note. This is in color green, and it comes from YouTube, and the initials are the letter P, and they requested soft spoken. What describes your perfect day? What describes my perfect day? I have two answers to that question. If I am traveling to see my family and I spend quiet time with them, so we do a very relaxing activity such as go to a restaurant or hang out at home and watch TV with them, a relaxing activity, that is a perfect day for me. Now, for me personally, by myself, a perfect day is to be at home on a rainy day, just like this one, and just watch Apple TV, YouTube, maybe a podcast. Yeah, and some snacks. Yes, some snacks. Oh yes, some snacks. That is my perfect day and when I don't have to do anything. Nothing at all. Nothing. Thank you so much for your question. So look at this. All the pink ones are gonna be next, and it looks like the last question is gonna be a sticky note color blue. All right, so let's open this up, and this comes from YouTube. They requested soft spoken, and it is from Ludivine. So Ludivine, thank you so much for your question. What is the best piece of advice you've ever received? Ooh. Okay. Quite frankly, I have received different pieces of advice during different times of my life. So, for example, maybe 10 years ago, that advice was good, but it was only good for that time in my life. Next chapter of my life, that advice no longer applies. But throughout my life, I have received really good advice, but because they're no longer applicable, I don't remember them off the top of my head. But there are two. This is most recently. There are two, and let's see. And that is the rule of three. The rule of three has been very helpful. When you knock on the door 3 times, if that door does not open by the third knock, like the third time, let go. Let go. Because that door, whatever is behind that door, is not for you. It's not. And I do not mean knock 3 times. 1, 2, 3. No. What it means is you knock on the door, no one answers. You go about your day, come back some other time, knock on the door. And you do that 3rd time again, and still no one answers the door. Let go, because it's not for you. It's not. Basically, if I am working on a project and I keep trying 3 times, I try, it's not working out, I walk away from it, come back to it maybe 2-4 days after, try again, nothing happens, come back a week, try it for the 3rd time, nothing happens, then I know it's not for me. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be number 3. You could have a special number. Could be the number 10, could be the number 8, could be the number 20. But I think the lesson of the number 3 rule is sometimes perhaps we need to know when to let go. And sometimes it's very hard to know, because especially because here in Canada, we live in a society where they tell us, oh, don't give up on your dreams. You just have to work hard. Don't give up. Keep trying. It will come true. You just have to manifest it. So there's always a spirit of perseverance, which can be healthy because it does yield results. But in some cases, it can be hurtful, especially if you are going after something that isn't for you. And sometimes, for some reason, you have to let go for that thing to come into your life. I don't understand that part. But see, if you have a limit of how many times to try, the faster you let go, the faster that thing will come into your life. And in case anyone is wondering what is let go, in some instances, because I am learning this by the way, sometimes let go means to not control the outcome. So you knock on the door. The outcome that you are controlling is that the other person on the other side of that door will answer. And let go would mean that you knock on the door and you know for a fact that the other person is on the other side of that door. But you don't expect anything from them. You are just doing your part by knocking on that door. If they don't answer, you walk away. You walk away. And if they decide to answer the door after you leave, then they'll come to you. They know where to find you. And I am talking about the universe because what's for you will not pass you. That's another piece of advice. It is true. What's for you will not pass you. It will find you. It will find you. Trust me, it will find you. Thank you so much for the question. And let's see. Got another pink sticky note. This came from Instagram and the initials are W. Will you be bringing back your beauty line? Oh, thank you so much for the question. Oh, wow. Thank you so much. I don't know. In the description box, I will explain what happened. The reason why I don't want to mention it here on the video is because I don't want people to get upset or think that I am complaining, because I'm not. I'm just saying what happened, and it's something that it's out of my control. And maybe the timing is not right. It could be that. It's so interesting that this question came up after I talked about letting go. I did not plan this. I did not plan this. You saw me pick the questions. You saw me. And I've just let it go. And maybe it will come back in the future. Maybe it won't. So it's up in the air. It's up in the air. Thank you so much for the question. I can't believe that happened. Well, we have 2 questions left. Let's see. So it's another pink sticky note. And this comes from Y from YouTube. What type of ASMR do you like to watch if you watch ASMR videos? And have you seen any good movies recently? I love both whispered and soft spoken. Well, it's a two-part question, so let's read it again and combine the two techniques. What type of ASMR do you like to watch if you watch ASMR videos? And have you seen any good movies recently? I love both whispered and soft-spoken. Thank you so much for the question. What type of ASMR do I like? I like soft-spoken with a touch of whisper, but mostly soft-spoken. I like very clear, sharp sounds. I like people who enunciate their words clearly. I love that. It just sounds crisp, clean, and I can see the letters. I have a little bit of synesthesia, so when I hear the enunciation, I can see the words and click, click, click. And there's something about people with very clear voices. So if they say something like, do you like to watch? I can see every letter that they are pronouncing, just the sounds. Whatever voice can create that crisp sound, I love it. For example, if they say especially, I can see every letter. It's so gratifying and very satisfying. So those are the types of voices I like. Very crisp. And the whisper, I like it sprinkled throughout the soft-spoken. Those are the ASMR I like. I like the personal attention, that one-on-one, and I love words. I love when an artist talks and talks and talks and talks and talks, and there's very little pause in between. There has to be talk. I love that. I love that so much. Yeah, that's the ASMR I like, and that's the reason why I try to incorporate what I like into my videos. It's mostly the person, followed by the sound, followed by the type of ASMR, and followed by the visuals. I also have a question for you, because I have a theory. ASMR, those tingles, it's not something that we experience on a regular basis in real life. As a result, I think that when we find someone or something that triggers those tingles, do you think we don't let go of that source? Do you think we bond with that source or create some kind of tie to it? I don't want to say attachment, but there's this tie. So for example, if there's a class where the professor has this voice that just triggers your ASMR, do you have this deep appreciation for the class and it becomes your favorite place to go to, and you know that the semester will come to an end, but if you knew that the professor is teaching the next class that you're going to need for next semester? Would you sign up again? Simply because this person creates an environment of tranquility, safety, and it's a positive environment for the whole class. Would you do it again? I think so. I would say yes. And if there's a piece of music or a podcast that triggers those tingles, do you become attached to it? I said I wouldn't use that word, but I did. What do you think about that? You can share in the comments below. Because I think you do. I think you do. Yeah, that's my opinion. And well, we have this one here and doesn't want to participate. So here it is. We got the last one. Thank you to this little jar for holding all your questions. So we have a blue one. Okay, and this comes from Eve, and it was left on YouTube. And the request is soft-spoken, and I know who you are. Thank you so much for your support, all of you. Thank you so much. You guys have been wonderful. I recognize your names or usernames. You guys are amazing, and I hope you don't mind, but I just sent you a kiss. Thank you so much. Or maybe I should ask, is it okay if I send you kisses? Yes? Okay, if you said yes, here are some kisses. To you guys, thank you so much. So the question is, I would love for you to share an item that is important to you and share why. Well, I am not sure if you're going to believe me, but I think some of you will. I'm going to show you what it is. And it is my earphones. No word of a lie, it's my earphones. These are a cheap version. So I'm just showing them here. Again, this is a cheap version, but they look very fancy. I cannot be without my earphones, and I actually have 3 sets. They don't look exactly like this, and I have a pair in my backpack, a pair at home, a pair that I use. So I have a backup everywhere I go. I cannot be without my earphones. I cannot. I think I went 1 day without it because at the time I only had 1 set, 1 pair, and I did not have a good day because with the earphones I listen to a lot of music, soothing music, podcasts, and when I am outside, the earphones help me to regulate my system, especially when I am in a very crowded area. A lot of stuff is going on, and I don't wear both. I only wear one so that I can listen to my surroundings. And even though I'm only using one, it's enough for me to focus to what I'm hearing and at the same time be aware of my surroundings. It's like it creates a shield for me while I am in the world. So it's a shield created by sound to protect me from a noisy world, if that makes any sense. It's like I am controlling the sounds that I like, and hence it's bouncing off sensations and sounds and everything else to do with sensory experiences. It's shielding me from that. So yes, this is my prized possession, 100%. Thank you so much for the question. And I also remember that I did not answer part 2 of this other question. It was asking what other movies I recommend. But instead of saying what kinds of movies I've been watching recently, because I can't think of it at the moment, I want to recommend two things. One is from Apple TV, and that is Ted Lasso. This this video is not sponsored by Apple TV, but I love that show. I really love the character Ted Lasso because I think he's a really positive figure to show us how to handle conflict, how to handle pressure, because he is a coach after all. And yet he never loses that beautiful personality of his sense of humor. He really reminds me of those rare mentors that come into our lives once or twice. They are very rare, and they leave this profound impression on us. They are the type of mentors who change our lives for the better. And it's such a lovely show. I love it so much. And yes, I do like soccer. That's the reason why I started watching the show, because I am a soccer fan. But yeah, Ted Lasso, I highly recommend that show. And the second I would recommend, and it's a podcast, it is the Telepathy Tapes. I cannot leave this video without leaving something for you that I hope you find changes your life for the better. Again, it's not professional advice. This is quiet entertainment. I always like to remind my beautiful listeners to always speak with your family doctor, professional therapists for any medical advice. I'm just sharing something that had a profound effect on me and gave me hope for so many things. So I would strongly recommend the Telepathy Tapes, which you can listen to on any podcast platform. I believe they now have a video format, so I would imagine that they would also be on YouTube. I cannot confirm because I only listen to the podcast. And well, that is all for today. Thank you so much again for your beautiful questions. Thank you for participating. Thank you so much again for your support. Thank you. I truly mean it. Thank you so much. I hope that you're doing well, and whatever it is that you are working on, goals and dreams, I hope they come true. I hope that whatever positive energy you get from us here, comments, viewers, me, all of us, that this helps you, give you that extra energy to accomplish your goals, even if it's just a little bit. Thank you so much.